Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. It is currently 33 past 3 on Saturday the 22nd of May 2021. I hope I'm finding you all in a good state of affairs, and if I don't, well then, I hope things get better for you very, very soon. Now, we're going to be taking a look at a bit more of a traditionally contemporary kind of drink in comparison to the last two episodes where we looked at seltzers. Today we're going to be taking a look at a line of drinks I haven't reviewed from in quite a while. That's the home brand premixed drink cans from Sainsbury's. This time we're going to be taking a look at one of the gin ones, which namely is the London Dry Gin with Rhubarb and Ginger. Very interesting mix of flavours there. Very brings up sort of an image of old Victorian gin houses, but I do like the sound of that mixture of flavours. I mean, gin, you've got the bitter kick. Rhubarb, that's sort of like a sour sharpness, and then ginger has got that sort of like kind of mixture between fieriness and bitterness, but it's like a bit more sweeter than like gin. So like those three flavours mixed together I think could potentially work really well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I do like the design of the can. Again, similar to the White Claw can from yesterday, it feels a bit corporate, but like the colours that are there do mix together quite well. So I'll give that a good, I don't know, 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's nice to look at least. But let's give ourselves a quick sniff of it and see what our first impressions are like. So before I do that, just to note, this is a 5% alcohol volume drink, 250ml can, and it is £1.25 from Sainsbury's. So that's something worth taking into consideration if you want to buy this. Okay, bit of a ginny, sort of a citrusy tint with a rhubarby through line, and can't really smell much of the ginger. There's a tiny bit of ginger in there that sort of like stings at the back of the nostrils, but the main thing I'm getting is a citrusy gin sort of flavour, and a sort of rhubarby through line. But I mean, it smells nice though. Yeah, I'll give it a good. I'll give it a good 9. The smells could be a little bit more balanced, but generally speaking, that does feel on the palate quite nicely. So I'm just going to get a quick palate cleanser of water if you guys will just bear with me 1 second. So let's clear the palate. And then onto the most important part of the video, which is to see what this little delight tastes like. So, bottoms up. Got a rhubarby undertone. Slightly sort of like bitter gin through line. Weird bit of raspberry mixed in there as well. And and now after a few sips actually the gin does start to come through. And then the gin comes out a little bit more prominently at the end with a bit of that creamy rhubarb flavour. So it feels like at the beginning it's mostly just the rhubarb and the undercurrent of like gin, and then you sort of go further through, and then there's this bit of sort of like raspberry-ish tint as well, then a bit more ginger, and then towards the end there's a bit more of a ginger flavour as well, but it kind of feels a bit overpowered by the rhubarb, which also kind of overpowers the gin bitter kick at the end as well quite a bit. So I feel like the flavours that are here are pretty good. The texture kind of lends itself very well to the flavours as well. My main problem is that as with the smell, the flavours are very imbalanced, and they do work well together. I just feel like there's a bit too much rhubarb in here. Not quite enough ginger, and definitely not enough gin either. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm still quite happy that I tried this. So I'll give it a good, respectable 7, or I think 7 to a 7.25 out of 10. So 7 or a 7.25 out of 10. I think it's definitely enjoyable, and I would go out of my way to get it again because it's so cheap, and it's flavoursome and it's light and enjoyable. But it's a tiny bit sweet. The rhubarb does overpower pretty much all of the other flavours, and the gin kind of sort of only comes into play at the end. I'm sorry, it just needs more gin in general. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but generally speaking, I'm pretty happy with this. I think the price for it as well is pretty fair as well. So yeah, give it a shot if you're interested. So yeah, good 7.25 out of 10, I think. Anyway, if you guys like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you have any desire to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to all that in the video description down below. But until next time, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye bye for now.